Welcome back, my friends. The news today is that electric vehicles might not cost a buttload soon. That is because lithium-ion battery cell prices have declined over 30% in 18 months. A key test for EV sales and the adoption curve is coming. What does it mean for Tesla and other electric vehicle sellers? What does it mean for the future of transportation? What does it mean for the US economy? And, what does it mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into that, please hit the like button. Please leave us a comment below, we would love to hear from you. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. And, before we continue, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors, including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school. As well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorld.net also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. One of the biggest hurdles to electric car proliferation is the cost. According to Cox Automotive, new EVs are selling on average about $5,000 more than gas-powered vehicles, $53,469 versus $48,334. While government incentives can negate some of that gap, and electric cars don't need pricey gasoline or as much maintenance to drive around, consumers still don't view EVs as a bargain buy. That might be about to change. For the last decade, various research firms have postured that EV batteries need to see prices decline to $100 per kilowatt hour in order to achieve parity with gas cars. In July, the average weighted price of a kilowatt hour worth of battery dropped below that for the first time in 2 years. In spite of significant monetary inflation, prices are still dropping, and soon the price of an electric car drivetrain will be less or equal to a gasoline vehicle to produce. The biggest single factor in this price cut has been passed on from the value of the raw materials. Lithium prices have halved since the beginning of 2023, cobalt prices have reached their lowest in history, and battery metals like nickel are down 25% so far this year. Additional reductions in price come from government subsidies, stronger market competition, and improvements in battery chemistry. Chinese-produced NCM811 battery cells have dropped to just $82.60 per kilowatt hour, which is there or thereabouts the price point needed to assemble a $100 per kilowatt hour pack. This is a far cry from where lithium-ion battery packs used to be. When the original Nissan Leaf was introduced back in 2011, the average price for a kWh of energy was near $1,000. To literally see that price decimated in just 12 years is pretty astonishing, especially when recent sky-high inflation is connected. With a new source for lithium having just been uncovered at the McDermott caldera, a long-dormant supervolcano on the border between Nevada and Oregon, it's likely those prices will only continue to come down. It could change the dynamics of lithium globally, in terms of price, security of supply and geopolitics. The US would have its own supply of lithium, and industries would be less scared about supply shortages. Of course, the cost of batteries is only a piece of the EV pricing pie. The American market seems to be migrating toward only large, tech-heavy, luxury-focused, and long-range electric vehicles, which are always going to be expensive. Rapid proliferation of EVs in Europe and Asia has been largely driven by lower-cost compact EVs with shorter range. Even at $100 per kilowatt hour, a car is going to be expensive as heck when it's fitted with a 200 kilowatt hours pack. Typically, EV battery prices are reported in terms of cost per kilowatt hour. In 2021, the cost of lithium-ion batteries, the most popular type of battery used in EVs, dropped to between $100 and $200 per kilowatt hour. This amount was significantly lower than in prior years. Large-scale production of batteries saves manufacturers money and comprehensively reduces the price of electric vehicles. Electric vehicle manufacturers plan to make electric vehicles cost competitive by building more battery factories and creating aggressive prices in the battery market. Now, market research firm TrendForce released a report on Thursday showing that the price of batteries used in EVs and energy storage dropped 10% in August as a result of the slowing demand for the cars. The company also noted that additional price declines are anticipated throughout the rest of the year. With unsold electric vehicles backing up on the lots of rivals dealers, General Motors' electric vehicle rollout strategy for the fall is shaping up to be a key moment for Detroit when it comes reading an uncertain EV adoption curve. GM, so far, is acting as if it can withstand a current shakeout in the EV world, says analyst Brian Downey, executive editor of Auto Trader, a division of auto data company Cox Automotive. EV inventories were 92,000 as of June 26, up 350% from mid-2022, as models from automakers newer to the EV market like Kia, Porsche, Jaguar and Hyundai saw sales fall short of expectations and sales of Ford's Mustang Mach-E dropped. But GM reiterated in its earnings this week that it will double production of EVs in the second half of the year, to 100,000 units, including the long-awaited introduction of an electric Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck and EV versions of Chevy's Equinox crossover and Blazer compact sport utility vehicle. The company says it will reach 400,000 cumulative units of EV production by early 2024 and that its EV business will reach profitability by 2025. Wall Street analysts, though, remain unconvinced about near-term EV adoption rates. We would continue to advise investors to keep their expectations well managed with respect to the speed of the ramp and the ultimate size and profitability of GM's electric vehicle business. We express this sentiment not just for GM, but for all legacy auto manufacturers, wrote Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jones in a note to clients after the GM earnings. There is a core EV issue in the numbers. GM sold about 36,000 electric vehicles in the first half of 2023, according to Cox Automotive. With production set to zoom higher, the new models had better sell. Among analysts who believe the stock is due for a bigger drop, expected EV sales disappointment is among the factors. Deutsche Bank analyst Colin Langan, whose $32 price target represents between a 15%-20% drop from this week's GM share price, said in a note to investors that among the biggest risks to his sell rating is the successful launch of key EV products such as the Cadillac Lyriq, GMC Hummer EV, Chevy Silverado, GMC Sierra EV, Chevy Equinox EV, and Chevy Blazer EV. Consumers may be more important to watch than investors right now. GM CEO Mary Barra told analysts after its earnings that she is very confident with where we are in the pricing for the Silverado EV. The Cadillac Lyriq EV sedan, priced from $58,590 and competing with more expensive products from Jaguar and Audi, came out last year, Cadillac spokeswoman Katie Minter said. GM will also be rolling out the Cadillac Celestiq, a $300,000 model that will be custom designed for each customer. According to Downey, the goal is to lure customers who have not been attracted to EVs for the sake of technology alone. As EV market leader Tesla has done by cutting prices this year, GM is moving to give EV options to the larger market of consumers who simply want trouble-free cars at attractive prices, he said. Tesla people are not car buyers. They're tech buyers. The next group of cars will meet people where they are. The next generation doesn't care how cars are powered. They want them to be easy, he said. The need for more options in the EV market has been highlighted by inventory backups for many kinds of EVs during the second quarter, which largely spared GM, Downey said. The Hyundais have been hurt by high prices and the fact that they are ineligible for federal tax credits because they aren't made in the US, Downey said. We're seeing with Lyriq, we're seeing with the Hummer truck and SUV, the Bolt, these vehicles are getting to the dealers' lots, said GM CEO Mary Barra. And if they're not already sold, they've got a list of people who are waiting for them, she said. For the rare customer who decides they're not going to wait for the vehicle, there are several more waiting in line. But GM's EV plans come as Ford announced it is slowing down its plans to expand EV production to a 600,000 annual rate. The Mustang Mach-E sold 14,000 units and the F-150 Lightning truck sold 8,757 in the first half of the year, according to Cox. The F-150 EV sales are about 2.3% of total F-Series unit sales as reported by GoodCarBadCar.net. Ford sent slightly different messaging to investors last week, saying that while it is losing billions to accelerate its EV manufacturing, it will also be ramping production of hybrids, including a hybrid F-150. Downey says surveys show about half of car buyers would consider going electric. But the market so far is only about 6% electric, he said, as customers wait for the product they want, even as total EV sales rose 47% and brands like Volkswagen, Genesis, Rivian, BMW, and Chevy all saw sales double. This will be the first year US EV sales reach 1 million, Downey said. That's a lot of them. For GM and Ford, the ultimate question is whether, when breaking apart that 1 million EV unit sales figure, they can sell all the electric cars and trucks they are currently gearing up to produce. For GM, the answer to that will come into focus beginning this fall. What do you think? Please hit the like button. Please leave us a comment below, we would love to hear from you. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.